past life hypnotic regression. My neighbors have been absolutely on one way. Oh, subtly sexy. This is just the wine glass for me. The feast or the famine. People are exhausted trying to figure me out, and I just let them. Let's just cut to the chase, Tara. Cut to the chase.
Just because he wanted to move back downtown. If it had been up to me, I would have stayed.
Having black hair and flyaways and crazy sideburns like I have in a white apartment is truly the biggest act of self-sabotage. I'm planning to vlog, but just thought I'd flick on the camera and show you what I'm doing right now, because I feel like you guys will want in on this type of thing. Hence the water bottle, like bed, very chill. iPad is out, which means I'm trying to get some planning of some degree done. So just listening to all of my favorite YouTubers today. I think this morning I was listening to Jenny Claffey, who is like a bit of an online friend of mine, and also, yeah, she vlogs and has a really good kind of conspiracy podcast. And Melissa Merck, who is a Canadian, Vancouver-based YouTuber, who I actually had the pleasure of like spending a weekend with before. I really enjoy her vlog. She's very down to earth. As you know, I've done a lot of like written, sort of, I know, overused word, but I think it's just a universal term everyone kind of understands at the moment. A written manifestation journal is such a triggering word to use at the moment because it's just been kind of thrown around, but it is a universal term, which I think, you know, let's just cut to the chase, Tara, cut to the chase. Let's just say we're a fan of a written manifesto, which I like to do, not every new moon, but like new moons, I always find are a really nice time to do them. Funny, I've never done a vision board before because I'm a visual person. Like my vlogs are my diary. Like I was never a diary writer. It started the new year, and I think a lot of us have a lot of ideas of how we want life to look up here, but we don't actually take the time to visually see it. And there is a science in, I think, did Jenny do a podcast on this? She deep dived into the science element of manifestation. Mind stores images as memories when they're actually like seen. You begin to live your life in a way that like your mind feels like it's already happened. And this is what I love about biohacking and accessing the subconscious and tweaking things in your mind and your way of thinking, is because there is so much of your brain that is just one big massive trick. I think for me, experimenting with trying to master the illusions of the mind and also how you can use it to your benefit is just something I'm very interested in. So I'm just going to use my mood boarding. It's not an app, it's just a browser thing. I'm subscribed to it. It's called Melanote. Just looks like this one right here, and that's kind of what I use for like my project mood boards and like to help me manage the multiple things that I've been involved in. It takes a while to get used to. It's not the most responsive, it's a little clunky, but I think that's because it's a browser and not an app. If you have any other recommendations though for something that functions very similarly but just like is a bit more responsive, do let me know. I happened to just stumble across a Bashar kind of lecture. I think his name is Daryl Anka. It's very bizarre. Like apparently he's this man who channels another entity. But if you've read any of like Dolores Cannon, be kind of familiar of the concepts of like past life hypnotic regression and people just going into these like somnambulistic deep states of trance and accessing basically other lives through consciousness. I took book 2 again to finish recently, but yeah, if you're not into past life stuff and all of that weird, look, I'm a 12th houser, okay? This stuff is like, it's the spice of life for me. If they have something to say that's valuable and useful, then I think, you know, that's all you need to take away from it. This is not turned into like a quick flick on of the camera that I thought it would be. Somebody had asked him about visualizing your dream life and vision boards and manifestation, kind of along those topics. Anyway, Bashar's concept was about how we use manifestations, visualization, all of that like physical, you know, seeing as a way to sort of give ourselves a permission slip. It's a tool, and depending on how you use it will decipher how powerful it is. When you visualize yourself in that optimal reality, it's really important that you can see yourself in a way that it's already happened. That sounds really general, but actually like close your eyes and think of your dream life and actually think of what it feels like to be in your dream life. Like this person I am when I close my eyes is me living my dream life. Like, how does that feel in my heart and my spirit? Like, what's around me? Also, like, imagine yourself looking in the mirror, and the person you're looking at in the mirror is your dream optimal reality self. And almost a cord coming from the heart center going through into the mirror and reaching that other version of you that you have dreamt of, created. You've got this link, you've got this tether, let's call it like an alternative life dimension plane, because look, we're still learning a lot about different timelines, dimensions, and how all of that works, so you can't really rule anything out. The second important thing he said was, when you're visualizing, as soon as you reach that peak energetic excitement about it, drop the idea of the visualization. The visualization is no longer important. The visualization was just a means to get to this state of excitement about your own life. And he just went on to say that the purpose of, like, the frequency and the power of that excitement is to match the frequency of something equal to the manifestation that you asked for. So it mightn't be exactly, like, the abundance mightn't come in exactly the form you asked for it, but it will be of an equal value and frequency. Sometimes it's coincidental that what someone has asked for is actually what they end up receiving, but for me, I do like to keep an open mind, because abundance comes in all shapes and forms. I say that word, there's no harm in being specific in what you're asking for, but I do think, like, then you have to allow the universe a longer amount of time to give you exactly what you want. But I think when you're a bit more open-ended and you're open to something good coming into your life and it not being exactly what you asked for, but being able to recognize that it is in line with your optimal timeline in some shape or form. I don't know, it's a really interesting food for thought. It gets my mind buzzing. I'm a very open-minded person. I like to connect it with other concepts that I've learned or picked up over the years that have resonated with me, that sort of corroborate or complement is, I think, is a better word, something new that I've learned. Lovely, like, film strips inside that Dolores Cannon book, because I obviously had brought it home, and, like, found all of these mementos that I had, like, flattened inside so that they'd get back to New York in one piece. This is like a petal from a bouquet. No. From a beautiful, it's probably like the nicest bouquet I've ever gotten in my life when I got to London. And I'm one of those people that has to take a memento from any good night that I've had. Like, if I've been in a really good cocktail bar, I've had a really good night. Hoxton in Shoreditch has these beautiful, like, old-fashioned print booths, and I've always wanted to take them. No, yuck. Trust me, I've been in that place where you just can't absorb that shit, but, like, this is my moment, okay, guys? I've been waiting a long time to be this happy. Everyone has their time, everyone has their moment. I hope you don't mind me sharing mine. Pause this music really quick. Very brief, what is this? Check-in. This is what I'm wearing, because I'm going for dinner, drinks, maybe a bit of a boogie with Lizzie. I haven't seen Lizzie Hadfield since I got back to New York, so I'm so excited to hug her and squeeze her and just catch up. But if there's any vibes to be had that I can share, I'll try and grab them. But yeah, I'm really excited. I don't think you guys can see my makeup at all, but I did, like, a messy wing, like more of a smudged wing with a pencil, and, like, smudged it out with eyeshadow instead of, like, a really polished cat eye that I usually do, because honestly, usually I laugh my ass off when I'm out to dinner and it just ends up all over my face anyway. Maybe this less perfect eyeliner will carry on, or, like, wear better throughout the night, you know, but keeping everything simple along the décolleté, just my small little hoops as usual, and this old off the shoulder little handy top from Zara. It's just like a little knitted top, but the cut is so nice. I'm so glad I kept it. I haven't worn it in a long time, but it's a perfect sort of I don't know, subtly sexy, like, loose fitting Levi's, which honestly look really unflattering here. I might put a belt on as well, with boots, but I'm wearing my loose pants because I just got my period, so yay for that.
Now that we know where it is. I said now.
I feel like I nailed the gorge breakfast front today.
But it's always under, yeah. It's always there.
Hello, hello. Always forgetting to pause the music before I start vlogging. But we are off to a productive start. I have been shooting for a campaign in the loft today. I'm just finishing up the last piece of it, which will be a photo. I wasn't asked to do a photo, but all my years in this field have taught me is you always cover all bases, because sometimes, especially with campaigns like this where they give you quite a lot of creative reign, sometimes the client doesn't like it. So I always like to have backup content to submit that I know for sure that they'll like, even if it's just a simple photo to cover my ass basically. And that is how I avoid reshooting. God, I don't miss those days. Like, oh my God, like submitting your soul, thinking a submission is so good and then the client hating it is the most soul crushing experience. But yeah, learning curves of the job. I'm just gonna set up a little self timer situation. It should be pretty quick to grab, but I'm really liking my hair like this. It actually fits in a claw grip now with my new haircut, which is fantastic. She took like the perfect amount of weight out of it. I honestly have so much to do today, but I'm hoping to get this edited and submitted by the end of the day. Chloe helped me with the other half of it. You would have seen maybe in my previous vlog, this vlog, I'm not quite sure. Topic of working and jobs and stuff. Like, I was looking back at my Instagram. I didn't post an Instagram ad or any SponCon for like 4 months. I think I had one campaign in 4 months, which was undeniably maybe I don't think I was even that quiet in the pandemic, to be honest with you. I think, again, I've been in this industry long enough to know that it's like the feast or the famine. You have like nothing, and then you have like more work than you can handle, which is kind of how January has been. I had a couple of deadlines backed up from like the delayed trip back from Ireland, and I've just been like go since I've been back. So that's why I've been kind of semi-quiet. Priority number 1 has been just shooting for these clients, and it's all been really fun, creative work. And yeah, I have to say I really am loving my job right now. Like, I see the brief, this whole visual storyline kind of comes to me, and actually doing it and fulfilling it and executing it well, and also making stuff like that you guys find quite nice to see and like visually pleasing, especially having as much creative freedom as I have with the campaigns that I work on and the things that I get to choose, because now I'm in a position where I get to kind of choose who I work with and really work with like well-known brands that, I don't know, I don't like to be like an overseller. I just like to show you my opinion and like how I use products, and it's kind of like up to you guys whether you want to try it out or not. I don't know, that's the way I like to approach sponsorships. Obviously it helps with motivation also, because I don't think people like kind of understand that, you know, like when this is your job, like would you show up to work for free? Probably not. So of course it gives me extra oomph to make a good quality like meaty video. My neighbours have been absolutely on one this weekend with the piano. Don't get me wrong, I've never complained. Wouldn't stop anyone from being creative, but like 2 a.m. last night was not the vibe. It's Sunday. I thought they'd be taking a day off, but evidently not. It's definitely the one thing I hate about living in an apartment is I don't get like a lot of sound noise, especially in lofts. Like, this is a quiet loft building. But yeah, I mean, if you're living in an apartment block, you're just always, it's always going to be a factor, isn't it? I'm going to shoot on 50mm. I'm hopefully going to be able to see myself shooting in the little screen. Oh no, I'm gonna need my phone for self-timer. Okay, plan B, because I couldn't get it to focus, is I'm gonna use the Canon app, which also doubles as a viewfinder, and I can like tap my face to focus it, because right now I can't reach the button. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. Hey, hello. Also, random one for you tech wazards. I have my Wi-Fi hooked up down here, and I've been having issues. So progressively over the last year, my internet's been dropping out more and more. Like before it was like maybe once a month, then it was once a week, then it started becoming like once a day the last couple of months, and now it's like every couple of hours my internet drops out. Like my connection is good, like there's no service outages, it just drops out like clockwork. Really annoying. And it works perfectly once I plug the power out of the wall and plug it back in, it comes straight back on. It's not like the distance, it's like that whole signal itself just completely drops out and doesn't come back until I plug it out from the wall and plug it back in. So if any of you know what's up, I've been through the same, spare me the heartache and give me some advice. Got the shot, we got the shot. Looks clean, professional. And just for anyone new here, I self-shoot a lot because I have like a lot of experience. I used to be a photographer like when I first moved to New York. And for the last 2 years, I've been shooting on a Canon 60 Mark II with this lens is so bloody versatile, the 24 to 105 millimeter, one of the red lenses from Canon, which is kind of higher spec. I do wish it went down to like a 1.4 f-stop, but it goes down to 4 and generally I can manage it. If it's super dark, it's useless. 1,000,001 things to do today, but before I go any further, I'm gonna have my lunch, just some eggs on toast because I am starving. I look like the burglar in Home Alone. Oh my god, guys, absolute hellish scenes. Surprised I don't have more tourists in my chart because the stubbornness of me bringing this iced mocha with almond milk and a pump of pistachio home when I had all that to carry, honestly, I cannot feel my arms. I ran all of my errands and also picked up 50 photographs, shipped some packages, collected some packages, and then also got some groceries because I actually want to make a really nice brunch for him tomorrow. I know I'm like, oh my god, this vlog is, as Lucy would say, the patriarchy and not against it, but I'm a very like excited, welcoming person in these situations, and I don't know, I just like want to make him feel at home. Picked up some fresh sourdough. Let's have a look at this beauty. Bit of bread corn. I'm gonna chop her up and freeze her because I do not want it going stale. But I have the Irish Kerrygold cheese to make someone feel at home. And yeah, I just got some like nice ingredients for brunch tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna record it because I think it's gonna come out really good. I'm trying to also get into yogurts, so I'm gonna give these like dairy-free ones a go. He is also dairy-free at the moment. Just holding up the block of cheese and then showing you dairy-free yogurt makes sense. People are exhausted trying to figure me out, and I just let them. Actually make the best grocery bags. You can just, they keep expanding. You can fit so much in them. Nice chunky thick slices. I'm gonna pre-cut them and freeze them because I've just found that's the best way to keep like sourdough if you're not eating it all at once or like the same day. If you like it defrosts really well, and I've read online that that is kind of the best way to store it. Oh, so good and very gut friendly. This is the bread that I generally eat. In my packages today, got a mocha pot because we both always use these. People were asking me before how to use this. It's really simple, look it up, but it's just great if you don't have a coffee machine but you want really good quality coffee. I still make iced coffee with it. I've never been a wine drinker, don't particularly like it, don't particularly have good memories associated with wine, which is why I think I don't drink it. However, orange wine, natural wines are my jam. Every time I've had a glass of orange wine, it has been so delicious. I just thought, like, this is just the wine glass for me. I can imagine like condensation and like a gorge orange wine filled to like here. It's a vision. Also, these were very affordable. Like, there's no point spending a lot of money on wine glasses. Got it from Amazon and they're exactly the same as way more expensive ones that I saw. I've been trying to get my hands on these for honestly about 6 months because they keep selling out. But speaking of alcohol and regulating the consumption of it, Free Spirit Drinks is a non-alcoholic sort of liquor brand, and they've like 3 flavors, but they're like infused with a bunch of like health foods and herbs, things that are good for you. Like this one has lion's mane mushroom in it. Putting poison into your body, you're going to be putting good stuff into your body. I definitely know it's going to be an acquired taste with some of these, but I'm excited to see which one's my favorite and actually make cocktails out of it. So I'm excited to try these and just cut down on my consumption a little bit because I'm just not someone that needs it. Like once the company is good, you can honestly hand me anything, a mocktail, and I'll be happy. So got some books, got a gorgeous bookie here by Vita Sackville West called Challenge. There's no such thing as a bad romantic period drama in my opinion. Then I also bought this book, so I thought I'd give it a shot. It was recommended for any spiritual nerds out there. I've no idea. Called The 7 Planes of Existence, The Philosophy of the Theta Healing Technique by Vienna Stiebel. Discover the seen and unseen forces that define the dimensions and universe and those beyond it. I accidentally bought 2, so if any of you would like one, I'll do a draw. Just leave a comment in the description below and I will send this out to you. This will be for the early birds. If you watch the video within the first 24 hours and you comment, I'll send it out.